y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Michelle Burr. I'm so glad you're here because every 2 weeks I give a bi-weekly update of how my pregnancy is going, the good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly good. We like to keep it positive around here, but I like to tell you the nitty-gritty of exactly what's been going on because a lot of y'all can relate to the things that are happening. Pregnancy is wild. Am I right? So I actually turned over to 38 weeks pregnant today. If you've been here since the beginning, I know your mind is blown. And if your mind is blown, imagine how I feel. Like, I cannot believe that I am 38 weeks pregnant. Right around the corner from meeting our miracle IVF little baby boy, Nash. I literally can't believe it. Someone pinch me 1,000 times. I need it. So since I'm 38 weeks today, I'm gonna go ahead and update y'all on my week 36 and week 37. So big things started happening in my 36 week. This is whenever we started the dilation checks at my OB-GYN's office. A lot of people told me that they were, well, I kind of got mixed reviews on them. A lot of people were like, oh, you won't even feel it. A pap smear is way worse. It's not that big of a deal. And then a lot of people were like, mine were so painful. It was really pretty much 50-50 across the board. I feel like I have the best doctor ever. So with that being said, the cervical checks have not been bad. If you haven't started them yet, do not be scared of them. If you love your doctor, trust your doctor, and you feel in your heart that they're probably a pretty good doctor, they shouldn't hurt. So for my 36 weeks, I put feeling big. So I kind of just feel like I have this basketball in front of me. Lately, I saw my dad yesterday for lunch and he was like, man, the baby like really poked out. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling like there's a basketball under my shirt at all times, but I love it. It doesn't bother me at all. It's not in the way. I love it. I'm embracing it. This is funny, looking back. This is so funny. I feel like stretch marks may be right around the corner. So stay tuned for that. That's all I'm gonna say. So I had my first dilation check and she said that I was 1 centimeter. If you follow me on my weekly vlogs, my updates that I do, then you already know this information. So I was actually kind of surprised that she said that I was 1 centimeter at 36 weeks, but a little part of me was happy, I'm not gonna lie, but not too happy because I've heard so many people tell me that they were told they were dilated at a 1 or a 2 and they stayed like that the entire rest of the pregnancy. It ended up needing to be induced or whatever the case may be. So I didn't think like it was a thing, but a little part of me was excited that it was something. And I mean, 1 centimeter is better than nothing, right? And then I also had to do the Group B swab test. If you're not familiar with this test, it's not talked about a lot. My friend actually told me about it and she was like, I'm just telling you right now, it's not bad at all. It's just kind of threw me off. The Group B strep test swab is a swab from the V to the B. And it doesn't go in, it's just like a dusting of the whole area. And the reason that they do the strep B test is because strep B is very dangerous to the baby if you deliver with strep B positive, but it is very dangerous, but it's also, there's an easy solution to it. Women have strep B all the time and all they do is whenever you go into labor, I think you have to get at least 2 hours of antibiotics before you deliver, which is super easy to do. Usually your doctor does the strep B test so that they can plan for that for you. So actually I did that at 36 weeks. I'm now 38 weeks. I've seen my doctor twice since that test and she hasn't said anything and I completely forgot to ask. So I'm guessing that no news is good news. Usually if you're positive with something or some test comes back a certain way, they'll usually call you on the phone. So I think no news is good news. So I guess that means that I am strep B negative, which that's cool. I had a lot of Braxton hicks at this week. Braxton hicks aren't painful. It's just that tightening sensation of your stomach. The way that I would describe it, and when I go to the OB-GYN, they're always like, are you having any Braxton hicks? And I'm just like, I've never had a baby before, so I'm not sure, and like I told my doctor, it feels like as if Nash kind of like curled his body up and like rounded his back, like across the whole front of my belly, and held it there for a long time, which is not possible. That's not what he's doing. So she said, okay, that's probably a Braxton Hicks. It's just like a very tight sensation in your belly, like usually across the front, lower part of your belly. So I was having Braxton Hicks, and now ever since then, I can tell for sure when it's a Braxton Hicks. I had a little bit of hip pain. Like I said, this 36 week update was the first time I felt like there was just so much baby in there. And I think at this point he weighed 6 pounds about. So my hips started to hurt for the first time. I also experienced a lightning crotch for the first time. If you're not familiar with lightning crotch, it's when that's not the proper word for it. I'm sure that's slang, but it's whenever your baby's head kind of like bangs up against your cervix, and it gives you this like zzz, like shooting lightning, like nerve sensation, and it's literally like like it lights you up. It lights your ass up, okay? The first time it happened, I was like, oh my God, like what is that? And Matt was like, are you okay? Are you okay? He thought I was going into labor. And then it just kind of dies off, and I was like, okay, I think it was lightning crotch. And he's like, what the hell is lightning crotch? And then I put that I had a really bad half of the day. Oh, I know why I wrote this. So Matt and I went out to lunch together, and we stopped by a few stores to get things for Nash, and it was a beautiful day, and I just had so many Braxton Hicks. I don't know if it was because of it was my first cervical check, which wasn't painful, so I don't know, but I had so many Braxton Hicks when we were out and about. And when you're at home and you experience that really uncomfy, like tightening sensation, it's fine, just lay down, relax. I just kind of like rub my belly. But we were running errands, we were in Matt's truck. I was like having to lift myself in and out of the truck at the stops that we were going to, and I just had a really bad half of the day. And then by the time that we were driving home, I officially knew that Nash had dropped. And I vlogged about it too, and I showed y'all my belly, and a lot of y'all were like, yeah girl, he definitely dropped. My hips and my lower belly and my booty and my V, and that's why I was experiencing lightning crotch. He just was down there. And on the way home, like Matt was driving in the truck, and every bump I was like, like it was just like the worst. Nash was in the worst position that he's been in this whole pregnancy. It was super uncomfortable. So whenever I get home, I just took like a warm bath and relaxed. Eventually he like got to moving, relocated himself. I've been fine ever since. Honestly, the bath helped a lot. But yeah, that was just a rough evening, but everything turned out okay. So then moving on to 37 weeks. So I went in for my cervical check at 37 weeks, exactly a week after 36 weeks. I thought that I would be more dilated because of that bad day. Whenever I was experiencing my hips hurting and Nash like super low, and like my cervix and everything down there just aching, and like that nervy feeling, I literally thought when I went to my 37-week appointment, I was like, man, I know that I've at least dilated another centimeter, like, or 2 even. Like I just knew that that cramping and nervy feeling meant something, and it didn't. So I mean, she said I was like 1.5 centimeters. She said 1 centimeter with some wiggle room is like how she described it. And then I put that my tummy feels smaller because the baby dropped, which is weird. They call it lightening, if you like look anywhere on the internet, and it's usually when the baby drops, because now they're like deep in your pelvis and you have a little bit more room here. I have had a little bit less heartburn. I still have to do heartburn medication, the heartburn gum, every single day, at least once or twice a day. But before that, it was constant. constant heartburn, constant reflux, constant pain. I was alternating between the heartburn Alka-Seltzer heartburn gum, which is the only thing that helped me. Tums can't even touch this. And my heartburn tea, and I was alternating that all freaking day. So I will say that ever since he's dropped, I don't have it as much and I don't have it as bad. I noticed that when I'm sleeping a little better because I'm not like jolting up, gurgling on reflux and heartburn. So then, because Nash dropped a little lower, and I've heard that this can happen, one morning I woke up and I was like, man, my freaking hips, but like not my hip bones, my skin just felt so tight. And I was just like, man, it feels like elastic that's about to bust, you know? And I'm rubbing my side and I'm like, I feel a little texture there. And so I like lift up my shirt and look, and I got my first little stretch mark, and I feel like in these last final weeks, it's just gonna go and grow. Hopefully it doesn't. If it does, it's okay. I genetically was more inclined to have stretch marks, so I just planned to have them, and I'm honestly shocked that I am 38 weeks now and just now found one on my hip. It's very minimal, and the oil that I use is already helping it so much. It's the Promise Prenatal Oil. I talk about it on my Instagram. I think I've talked about it on here too. I got it in a bump box, like probably around 15 weeks, and I've been using it religiously, and the women in my family are shocked that I'm not covered in stretch marks. Again, there's no way to know if it's the oil. I know like genetics has a lot to do with it, but I'm kind of proving that wrong as of now, unless more pop up. And then I know just like staying super hydrated has a lot to do with it. I don't know, but I am obsessed with this oil. It feels really luxurious. I'll put it in the description bar below for you. I bought it, I think it was like a Black Friday deal when they had buy two, get one free. So I went ahead and bought 3 just so I had them on hand, because I did hear that when you give birth or after pregnancy, stretch marks can show up. So I'm gonna continue using it. But anyways, I found my first little stretch mark on my left side. And like I said, it's okay if I get them, because I fully anticipated to be covered in them as soon as the bump made an appearance, and that just wasn't the case. So I do feel really lucky for that, but it was never in my plan to ever be the mom that wears a 2-piece bathing suit or shows my tummy. It's just not gonna be for me. And I just knew that it'd be fine with me having stretch marks, because whatever's underneath my clothes is not gonna matter anyway. So I just thought that I would share that, because I do get a lot of questions about stretch marks, because it's just like, you don't know what works for you. There's no way to have like a solution to stretch marks, because everyone is so different. So I just wanted to share that. I also went through like this weird stage of insomnia, but like it was weird because I would fall asleep and I would stay asleep, but then I'd be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like I had the best power nap ever at like 4:30 in the morning. And I would just ask Matt, like, is this my body preparing me? Or I just would be wide awake, like wide awake. Or he would get ready for work and I would just be like, hey babe, good morning. And he'd be like, why are you up? Like, you need to be sleeping, sleep in. And I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel awful. It wasn't like, oh, I have insomnia. I don't know. I was just naturally waking up, naturally had the energy. I will say, I still have great energy. I haven't lost my energy yet. If anything, I feel like I have more energy. And I don't know, does that come with nesting or just getting closer to having the baby here? Man, I feel like I am just on another level, another level with my energy these days. And yeah, it's just not something that I'm struggling with, which I'm very grateful for, because when you have a new baby, there's a lot of things to do. And when you're so tired, like I did experience that in the first trimester, and when you're so beyond tired like that, girl, it's exhausting. It's literally exhausting. You could do nothing all day and you're still exhausted. And I'm just so thankful I'm not having to deal with that right now. Also, what's really weird in my 37th week is that I all of a sudden started breaking out so bad. And my skin, literally this whole pregnancy has been so balanced, and I hadn't had to deal with really bad hormonal breakouts for the most part. And I don't really have the best skin. My skin doesn't have a really good track record, so I just thought that I would be plagued with acne this entire pregnancy, and I haven't been up until week 37, and I felt like my skin was just oily, sopping wet, like all the time. Like whenever I put on makeup, I can't wait to take it off at the end of the day because it's just like thick and oily and just bleh, like it's just like the grossest feeling. And I'm like, why is it's like my face is overproducing like all this oil, which is clogging my pores, and I'm getting like breakouts on my cheeks, my chin. And I don't know if that's like because it's the end of pregnancy and my hormones are just freaking wildly through the roof, like as I prepare to give birth. I don't know what the deal is, but that was really random for me. So I'm just trying to do the most minimal for my skin right now because that's the best thing I could do for myself. I used to think that using all these products would heal my skin and make it amazing, but I've learned with my skin, the less I can do, the better. Like sometimes it's just like soap, moisturizer, call it a day. Don't need all that extra stuff. So that's what I'm focusing on doing right now. And then the last thing that I put for 37 weeks is that I had huge movements, and I'm talking like rocking and shaking my entire belly. Matt will I'll be like, Matt, come here, come feel this. And there are knees just protruding out of my belly and feet protruding out of my belly. And Matt's just like, is he okay? Why is he doing that? I'm like, he's fine. He's just like a full-blown baby now in there. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling those movements of a full-blown baby, which is crazy. His butt, yesterday at my 38-week appointment, we did an ultrasound, and his butt is like right here. And I swear, I feel his butt like pressing up, and I'm like, this kid is twerking. He's twerking. It's so funny, but it's just, and then now at this point, I like feel his little hands down there, you know, like, cause he loves to put his hands by his face and he punches and like just plays up there. And sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I can just feel your crawly little fingers, like just, you know. It's so weird, but I love it so much. His feet are right here, and I feel those kicks a lot. And I swear this morning he got some toes tangled up in my ribs. Like those are the kind of movements that I'm experiencing. He's moving right now. He's like, Mom, why are you talking about me? I love you, Bubba. Look, he's moving. Bubba, you wanna say hi to the camera? You heard me talking about him. Anyways, guys, it is time to take a look at this bump. It's large and it's in charge. Let's take a look at this 38-week bump. 38 weeks. From the front. I love it so much. Oh, I'm gonna miss it. Okay guys, that is it for this pregnancy update. Hopefully there will be another one, but now that we're a baby watch, I'm just not sure. I have a appointment scheduled for my 39 weeks. If I make it to that appointment, then I will be uploading a 38 and 39 week update, but That's obviously gonna be the last update. Holy crap. My last pregnancy update, wait, that's gonna be next week. Oh my gosh. Guys, I only have one more pregnancy update for you, and then it's labor and delivery and baby time. This is insane. Anyways, whoa. With that being said, make sure you give this video a like if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. You do not want to miss the next few videos. Click that bell notification so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better.